Coach Roxane here. And you hear me talk a lot about tracking our numbers. We need to be fanatical on this right now. And the reason I say that is that the numbers, when we see a market shift, we see the conversions change, right? 6 months ago, 9 months ago, we saw pretty clearly that within 90 days, you could expect that, if you dialed 100 names, you'd see 12% of those produce a contact. And of those, you could set 5% of those to appointments. And of those, 70% of those appointments would actually show up. And that of those, you'd get 80% of them to list their house with you or sign a buyer agency. And then from there, another 80% to get to the closing table. Well, one thing we know, when there are fewer leads out there, when more transactions are falling apart, when the rates are higher, those numbers no longer apply. What we don't know is what the new numbers are. And the only way that we're going to know that is by really just keeping track of what you're doing. And I know as rainmakers, it's really hard to track data, but guess what? You can use a notepad. You can use a sticky note. Just keep track of how many dials you need to make to get a contract. To get a contact, how many contacts you need to set an appointment. And I would also throw in there one other number, which is how many contacts you need to make in order to get a lead. And we know a lead is somebody who we know their motivation, we know their timing, we have permission to reach back out to them, and we've got their email and their phone number. So track like a banshee, even if it's on the back of a pizza box, because that's going to tell you what your conversion rates are. I remember when the Great Recession hit, telling my husband that I was so thankful I was in sales during the Great Recession. He said, "What are you talking about? You sell houses." And you sell houses at the epicenter of the global financial meltdown. But I told him, but sales is a numbers game. It always will be. It always has been. The question is, what type of numbers? How many dials? How many events? How many people do we need to have in our pipeline in order to achieve our goals? And we will only get a handle on that by tracking like a banshee. So thanks. That's the tip.